Hey everyone. So today we're going to talk about a secret that can completely change how you speak English. And here's a hint. It's not about learning more words. It's about mastering the phrases that make you sound genuinely natural. Fluent. Let's get right into it.
I mean, it really can feel like that, can't it? Just this endless, overwhelming list of words and grammar rules. It's such a common frustration, this feeling that you have to build every single sentence from the ground up, piece by painful piece.
But here's the big idea, the breakthrough. The real key to fluency isn't memorizing a dictionary at all. It's about mastering common phrases. Yep, the exact same ones native speakers use without even thinking about it. It's all about shifting our focus from single words to these conversational building blocks.
And that's what we're calling the native speaker secret. These phrases are like pre-made parts of the language that just let your conversations flow smoothly, confidently, and, well, naturally. Seriously, this approach is so practical. When you use phrases, you sound way more confident because you're not pausing to translate every little word in your head. It's a total hack. You're using these ready-made chunks of language, which is exactly how native speakers talk. They are the absolute building blocks of real, everyday conversation. Okay, so let's jump into our first group of phrases. These are the ones you pull out when life, throws you a curveball, when something totally surprising or unexpected happens. First one up, out of the blue. This is perfect for describing something that comes as a complete and total surprise. Just picture a clear blue sky, right? And then suddenly, boom, something appears. There was no warning, no sign, it just happened. For example, maybe an old friend you haven't talked to in years suddenly gives you a call. That call came out of the blue. It's that feeling of, whoa, where did that come from? All right, next we've got go figure. Now, this is a super casual, almost rhetorical phrase. You're not actually asking someone to figure anything out. You're just expressing this mix of surprise and maybe a little bit of resignation at something that just doesn't make any sense. This example is perfect. It just nails the irony and unfairness of a situation, right? The outcome is the total opposite of what you'd expect, and go figure is just the perfect way to say, can you believe that? Let's move on to our next section. This one is all about the phrases we use as tools for thinking. This is the language we use when we're weighing our options, making tough choices, and, even changing our minds. I love this because it really breaks down the thought process. On second thought is like the verbal signal that you're hitting rewind on your plan. You start with one idea, right? I think I'll have a coffee. Then you pause, reconsider, and announce the change. On second thought, you know what? I'll have tea instead. It's such a simple but powerful tool for conversation. This one is a classic. I mean, anytime you're making a big choice, whether it's buying a car or starting a new project, you've got to analyze the pros and cons. It's the go-to framework for making a balanced, logical decision, looking at both the good and the bad. So what happens when the pros and cons are almost perfectly balanced? Well, that's when you say, it's a tough call. This phrase signals that there's no easy, obvious answer. Either choice could be the right one. And this example really puts it into context. Imagine you have two fantastic options for a job. The decision becomes incredibly difficult. It's a tough call. Just perfectly captures that feeling of being stuck between two equally good choices. Okay, for our final set, we're going to look at phrases that help you manage the flow of a conversation. These are those little expressions that help us communicate clearly and just keep the dialogue moving along smoothly. Oh man, this is a feeling we all know. That incredibly frustrating moment when a word is right there, it's just out of reach. Saying, it's on the tip of my tongue, tells the person you're talking to, hang on, I know it, I just can't grab it right now. Just think about it for a second. An actor's name, the title of that song you heard yesterday. This feeling is so universal, and having the perfect phrase for it is a huge part of sounding natural. This phrase, it's like a gift you give to your listener. It basically says, look, I'm going to spare you all the boring details and just jump right to the important part. It's a great tool for being efficient and respecting other people's time.
Perfect, right? We don't need to hear about the traffic jam or the long security line. The speaker just uses long story short to cut right to the dramatic conclusion: they made the flight. That's all that matters.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, mastering these phrases is like getting a whole toolkit for transformation. You're going to sound more natural, you'll speak with way more confidence, and you'll even find it easier to understand native speakers. Why? Because you'll start listening for these chunks of language, not just single, isolated words.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Forget the dictionary. Seriously. The real secret here is to just master these building blocks. This is how you really build fluency, one phrase at a time.
So I'm going to leave you with this thought. Language isn't just a collection of words. It's a collection of phrases we use to express who we are. So my question to you is, what are the phrases that define the way you think, speak, and see the world?